Hey there, you're watching Procurement Shorts, where we break down all that's making news in procurement and supply chain across the world. Let's get you up to speed on all that you missed. As inflation in the United States continues to soar at dizzying levels, President Biden said his government was considering the possibility of either lowering or revoking trade tariffs imposed on China by the previous administration. Speaking to reporters on the proposal, Biden said, and I quote, "We are discussing that right now we are looking at what would have the most positive impact." The last few weeks have seen economists in the United States call on the administration to revoke these tariffs in order to reduce inflation and lower the cost of essentials. The popular belief is that a tariff cut would encourage greater inflow of goods into the United States and ease inflationary pressures. While inflation in the US is reported to have already hit a 40-year high of 8.3%, there is no indication whether these tariffs will in fact be done away with. While the US contends with taking a call on Chinese imports, across the ocean, the European Commission is hoping to incentivize smaller, landlocked Eastern EU states to stop buying Russian oil. These incentives include funding smaller European countries to help upgrade oil infrastructure, which the EU hopes would then get them to agree on an embargo on Russian oil. Quoting unnamed sources, a Reuters report claimed that the EU was planning the move as part of a larger package of sanctions against Russia as a retaliatory measure to its invasion of Ukraine. Earlier this week, the G7 nations, which include Germany, France, and Italy, agreed to an embargo on Russian oil. However, getting a handful of countries to cease business ties with Russia continues to remain a challenge. In fact, the Reuters report claims that the latest sanctions draft is expected to permit EU tankers to transport Russian oil owing to pressure from Cyprus, Malta, and Greece. Hungary, on the other hand, has secured an exemption from a Russian oil embargo until the end of 2024. It remains to be seen whether the European Union will agree to an outright embargo on Russian oil. In the meanwhile, diesel exporters in the country are making it hard to refuse what they're selling. Russian diesel procurements by Britain, France, and Netherlands in recent times have been carried out at discounts of $30 to a ton when compared to non-Russian products. This in turn has resulted in profit margins of approximately $1 million for a standard cargo shipment of Russian diesel. While buying Russian diesel is not in contravention to existing EU sanctions on Russia, diesel traders may have little time left as several European companies have announced plans to cease all oil purchases from Russia by the end of the month. This, even as an impending EU embargo on Russia oil threatens to dent exports from the country for the foreseeable future. Cargo delivery timelines from China have been on the rise thanks to supply chain interruptions. Cargo carriers have now begun blanking over a third of their shipments to counter the reduction in export quantities. Blanking is a term in cargo shipping used to refer to the cancellation of an entire shipment or shipping line in response to poor demand and improved cost effectiveness. According to supply chain platform Project 44, blanking strategies by several shipping majors could increase cargo delivery timelines from China to Northern Europe. Reports indicate that THE Alliance is expected to blank 33% of its shipments from Asia, even as the Ocean Alliance and 2M Alliance are expected to void 37% and 39% of their respective voyages. The outlook doesn't look great either, as Project 44 claims that 2M Alliance is expected to blank more voyages than any other shipping alliance in the coming week. Even as the world makes peace with the continuing semiconductor shortage with no end in sight, German auto giant BMW has begun feeling the heat. According to reports, the automobile major has decided to sell cars without Android Auto, CarPlay, and Wi-Fi connectivity in its infotainment systems. The move was prompted by a sustained delay in semiconductor shipments, while delivery timelines for BMW cars continued to shrink. The auto major then decided to deliver these cars without the features in order to meet deadlines. However, the chip shortage may not be entirely to blame for BMW's troubles. While the car maker changed its chip supplier recently, the newly produced semiconductors are yet to be certified for Android Auto and CarPlay. That's all the time we have on this edition of Procurement Shorts. In the meanwhile, log into bureaulive.ai to keep pace with more news and updates. Until next time, it's goodbye from us.